Hey everyone, I'm going to take a look at the Captain Tsubasa free cards on eFootball, part of the Captain Tsubasa Collaboration Campaign Volume 2, or Worldwide featuring Captain Tsubasa as it's apparently called here. But yeah, we're getting at least one, looks like maybe it's 3 selection contracts to choose some of these players. And not only is it from the new selection, but if you missed out on any of the previous selection from Volume 1, they're available as well, which is pretty cool. So as always, I'll put timestamps in the description for each player, so everyone hear about any particular players. Click in the description and there'll be a link to take you straight to each player. And I'll just start from, I'll run through the previous ones that were already available before first. So I'll start with Luis Suárez. So Suárez, of course, has a face scan. I think all these guys are going to have face scans, aren't they? He's a deep lying forward, getting on a bit now, so he is really slow. Yikes. Unwavering form. Obviously got skill-wise pretty much what you'd expect. He's got most of the ones you need for a striker. He's not got heading. That's interesting. I think his most recent one had bullet heading, didn't it? The MSM one. But yeah, first time shot, outside curler, heel trick, accurate finishing, long range curler. Yeah, good selection of skills for a striker. But yeah, let's jump over to eFootball Hub and we'll see how well he trains up. So, fully maxed out. Pros and cons. I think it's one of these cards where I would ask, does he really suit the playing style? Deep lying forward, can't really pass particularly well. He's not that great on the ball. Certainly not got much pace. It's not a great card for me. I think this is one of those cards where it's just pure nostalgia. If you love Luis Suárez, and if you've not got a good version of him, then I think it'll be a fun one for you to pick up. But beyond that, I don't know. Certainly there are qualities there. The awareness and finishing are fantastic. He's got decent heading attribute, even if he doesn't have the heading skill. But yeah, as a deep line forward, I mean, he's not got one-touch pass or through passing either. Outside of the nostalgia, I don't know whether you'd really get much joy out of this guy. I certainly wouldn't. If you're comparing to other versions of him, he's around a similar level to most versions of Suárez we've had, to be honest, outside of obviously the MSM one quite recently, which is just a ridiculous card. It's miles better than this one. A couple of Player of the Week cards that are a bit better as well. One of them was a D-Line forward, the other was a goal poacher. One was Uruguay, one was, I think, Gremio. But most of the other ones seem to be around this kind of level. And it's usually a similar situation, really, because he's obviously getting on now and he's just really slow. He does have a bit of physical strength and decent balance, but he's not brilliant on the ball, so he'll kind of be okay-ish at holding on to the ball, but without more pace, without more passing, I just don't think he's going to work very well as a deep line forward. But he does have the awareness and the finishing. It just depends how you're going to use him, I guess. You know, some people do have a lot of joy with deep line forwards, so he does have qualities, but yeah, it's just another version of Suárez, really. And I think, like I say, if you really like deep line forwards and you think you can get a tune out of this guy, it could be a decent one for you. Just there are some obvious weaknesses there. But generally, it's just another version of Suárez. It's pretty much on a par with most of the versions we've had. The way they're boosting from his GP card. None of these cards have had a massive boost from the GP card. It's his kicking power that's had the biggest boost, really. They put, I think, 4 or 5 points on that. So worth noting that. But other than that, yeah, like I say, just another version of Suárez. And I think really it's just the nostalgia. I mean, if you're going to retrain him a bit, try and round him out. I don't know how many points you take from there. I mean, the acceleration's so low. This is the thing with Suárez. He's a deep line forward. Just try and make him a bit better on the ball. I'll maybe just do that. I mean, still got that terrible speed, but lost a bit of acceleration. Bit more comfortable on the ball, better passing. You can maybe do that. But even doing that, it doesn't look like a great card to me at all. Yes, he's got some strengths. Obviously, the awareness and the finishing, and that's really the real strengths. And the kicking power does help as well. The finishing, that is good. So he's got a few very good attributes there. And there are a few that are okay. But on the whole, yeah, nostalgia-wise, if you've not got a Suárez card and you want one, great. I'm sure you'll be very happy with this card. But outside of that, it's pretty much par for the course with other versions of Suárez. And I just don't think it's that great of a card. It's not very appealing to me at all, really. But Suárez fans might be very pleased with it. Let's look at Kubo next. So, surprisingly enough, he has a face scan. Creative playmaker. He's got his usual positions and everything. All these cards are just highlight cards. I'm not going to change anything with the profile. But, yeah, unwavering form. Skill-wise, he's got what you expect, really. He's got one touch and through pass, which is great. Long range curler. So the passing through the middle. Long range curler coming off the right flank onto his left foot. Soul control outside curler. Good selection of skills there. Let's jump over to eFootball Hub. See how good this Kubo card is. So, get maxed out. It's pretty good. So, what they boosted most from his GP card, they put a few points on most of his attributes, but they put 6 on his low pass, which is very nice, especially if you're going to play him through the middle. And like I say, yeah, this is a good version of Kubo. It's pretty comparable to some of the better versions. You compare him to a lot of the Player of the Week ones, even the Player of the Season one from last season. And looking through the trainer ones, I mean, the Showtime one is probably the best, but like, there's not even much difference there. This is comparable, I would say, to the Showtime one. This is a pretty good version of Kubo. I'm guessing they boosted his GP card recently. If you got the previous free one from the Blue Lot campaign, this one's better. Even if you get the maximum Blue Lot boost, this one's still better. So yeah, I'm a little bit surprised they've given us a version of Kubo that's as good as this for free, really. And if you did miss out on it the first time around, now we got the selection contracts, it might well be a good choice for you. But yeah, we'll have a quick look at how he's trained. Got right wing, and we got through in the middle as well. So you can have as a playmaker behind the attack, or you can have as an inverted winger. Both ways, I've used, I had the Blue Lot one for a while that I used, and now I've got this one, and I've used this one, and the Blue Lot one quite a bit. And I've got to say, he's pretty decent. I like him. I don't always like a creative playmaker out wide, but he seems to do well for me. But yeah, we'll see how he trains up. We've had a look at the skills. He's got the passing skills through the middle. He's got long range curler coming off the right flank. You could maybe add long range shooting, first time shot, maybe weighted pass, but he's got the most important ones. There's nothing he desperately needs really there. So yeah, how are we going to train him up? So first off, they've got 1 point on defending. I'll take that straight back. Let's go through the middle first. I'm going to nick one off dribbling. His passing's at that point where, without the game plan boost, it's an 84. When he hits 85, I always say it's going to go up by 3 instead of 2. So we put 1 on passing, it goes up by 2. So that's definitely worth doing if you're going to plan through the middle. I would nick a couple of dexterity. You can afford to do that. It gives us 4. Can we get that passing up to 90? Would be nice. So you could afford to do that, maybe. If you really want to be a playmaker, yeah, do that maybe. I think through the middle, I'll do that. You don't need too much pace through the middle, but he's got pretty good pace as an attacking mid or as an SS behind the attack. With speed at 85, especially with the acceleration at 92, that he is nippy. Balance at 90 is great. On the ball, he's very nice there. We've got that low pass up to 90 with one touch pass and through passing. Finishing at 80, he's got a bit of curl and kicking power as well, and long range curler. So his long range curler is going to be very decent. Attacking when it's at 80 as well. That for me is a very nice option as a kind of number 10, either as an SS or an AMF with the creative playmaker playing style behind the attack. I think that could be very nice. It looks like a very decent card. I've mainly used mine on the right personally. That's how I'm going to build him now. See if I can remember the way I've trained my one. So I'll leave the finishing at 4. I like the finishing at 80. Passing not so important out wide. We'll take it all the way down to 4. Get a bit more on dribbling. Get those all at 90 plus. How quick can we make him? Ooh, hello. We can get his speed up to 90. 2 points left. Where are we putting them? I'll stick back on passing, I think. Yeah, I'll just do that. Yeah, I think that's probably roughly how I've trained mine. I think I might have a bit more passing on mine, a bit less pace, but just to show you how, a very different build to the first one that we did there. Out wide with the speed and acceleration, both 90 plus. Kicking powers up to 90 now as well. Balance at 90, still 90 plus on the ball. Passing not as important out wide, still decent enough for a wide man. 83 low pass, and he's got one touch and through. Finishing at 80, curl 82, kicking power 90. Long range curls are going to be pretty effective, and the attacking when it's at 80. Yeah, this is roughly how mine's trained, and like I say, he's very quick, responsive, feels very neat on the ball, and he's got a bit of end product as well. So yeah, very comparable to the better versions of Kubo that we've had previously. A little bit surprised they've given us this one for free, to be honest. If the playing style works for you, either through the middle or out wide, this could be a very viable option for you if you didn't already get this one when they gave it out for free. I forget if it just went straight into our inbox or if it was from the objectives or something. But either way, this was given to us for free. But if you didn't get it already, I would really consider this with your selection contract, because I think for a freebie, this is a really, really good card. Let's look at Dayot Upamecano next. So we have an inconsistent destroyer. I'm not sure he's always been inconsistent, but he's certainly not always been destroyer. He used to be a build-up. They changed him to a destroyer not too long ago. I think that was in the past 6-12 months maybe. So yeah, Upamecano, of course, has a face scan. What skills we got? You got most of the skills you need, I think, for a centre-back. Heading and aerial, man marking, search and blocker, slide and tackle, back clearance, fighting spirit. Yeah, everything you need defensively. And then you got weighted pass and low lofted thrown as well. So yeah, fantastic selection of skills for a centre-back. The one concern with Dayot Upamecano, he's always got dodgy defensive awareness. He's always a lot lower than the rest of his defensive attributes, and his stamina sometimes an issue as well. So we'll see how much of an issue these are on him when we train him up. So let's jump over to eFootball Hub. Can't speak properly today. We'll do exactly that. So right, fully trained up. maxed out, yeah, beast. So the defensive awareness is a lot lower than the rest of the defensive attributes, but you can allow that because the rest of the defensive attributes are absolutely insane. Stamina is a bit low, but I don't think it's too low. You can get away with that. But yeah, on the whole, it's a good version of Upamecano. The attribute that boosted most of his GB cards is heading. They put about 5 points, I think, on that. Other than that, like with all these cards, not a massive boost, but heading's had the biggest boost. So that's past 90 now, so that's good. Isn't always that high. And there's been quite a few versions of Upamecano. So there was a free one not too long ago. I think that was with the big update, possibly. The one where we got the Sané and what was the other one? We got Sané and I think Lewandowski double booster cards. Had that kind of red background. This one is better. It's got a couple. I think it's 2 or 3 more levels than that one. And if you go on auto allocation, it just literally puts the extra points from those levels onto acceleration and balance on dexterity, I should say. So basically, you've just got more acceleration and balance than that free buy-in one. Significantly more, actually. So yeah, it is better than that card. There was a couple of years back, I think, the last time Bayern won the league, I think there was a free one then, and that was a build-up. This one's got more acceleration and stamina than that one, so again, this one's better than that one. The better trainable versions that we've had, though, from like the kind of legend boxes and so on, they are a bit better than this one, so it's not up there with the very best of Mechanos, but it's not a massive difference. And there's been a couple of Player of the Week ones. There was a Champions League Player of the Week. That one had more speed than this, and it had more... had less defensive engagement than this one, actually. That was a build-up, and there was a regular Player of the Week card that had more speed and acceleration and stamina, but not so much with the defensives and the physicals. So yeah, all in all, it's not quite up there with all the best versions of Upamecano, but there's not a big difference, and it is a pretty decent version of him. It looks like it's the best free version we've had of him as well. And yeah, you can see what the strengths are. Apart from awareness, the rest of his defensives are absolutely insane. Jumping, physical, heading, fantastic. I picked this guy up. I've got the Champions League Player of the Week one, the kind of purple one that's a build-up. I prefer that playing style, and I'm pretty happy with him. He's done well for me, so I was going to keep him, and I was going to release this one, but I thought I'll give him a go and just see if he is any good. I stuck him in, I think, gold and gold for a few games, and then I tried him in co-op. He's actually a beast. He can be really effective. The build I've put on mine, I'll do a couple of builds here. I'm doing them on the fly. I've not prepared for this because I'm a noob. So yeah, you can afford to take a few points away from physical. I think what I did on mine, I took 4 off aerial, and I put all the points straight in defending. So then we got the defensive awareness up to 90, and then your flat 99s, all the other defensives. I think that's what I did on mine, because he's strong enough physically and aerially, but defensively now, all 90 plus. And he's got pretty decent pace for a centre-back. Yes, the acceleration's a bit low, but with the speed that high, I think it's fine. Kicking power's okay. Balance for a centre-back's decent. Stamina, workable. It's not great down the left, but it's not terrible either. Yeah, this I think is the build I've put on mine, just as an absolute thug, just an all-out defender. Just put him in front of your goalkeeper and just block everything, and he is effective. You notice those 99s. He's really, really strong in the tackle, and he can be really effective. So I've now got 2 Upamecanos that I'm actually trying. If you've watched my streams, you'll know I'm trying to keep my squad size down. I've got so many players, but I've ended up with 2 Upamecanos now. I wish I could just release one, but this guy's been so effective for me since I picked him up. I can't bring myself to release him, and I really like the build-up one as well for the Champions League one. So yeah, stuck with 2 for the time being because he has been good. So yeah, if you like the Destroyer playing style, and if you like a centre-back who's just an all-out defender, defensively and physically a thug, this guy can be really, really good. To try and balance him out a bit with the defending here, I've explained it before, but the first 4 points cost you 1 each, and then it's 2 each, and then it's 3 each. Going up to 15, we've gone up 3 at 4 points a time. Sorry if that's getting confusing for anyone. Basically, if you take 3 back off there, that's 12 points that we've spent on there, getting it up to the 90 mark. I'd be tempted to put just an increase of 1 there to spend 4 points on it, just to go from 86 to 88, just because it's an increase of 2 instead of 1. I think the aerial and physical I would leave there. I'd like his acceleration to hit the 70 mark, but I'm looking down the left side. It'd be nice if we can just nudge a couple of these up to the 70 mark, maybe. So just to give you a kind of... I'm going to goalkeeper 1 and get one more jumping at that last point. Yeah, so just to go and give him a bit slightly more balanced build, you could do that maybe. So go a bit low on the awareness. The awareness at 88 is fine. It's nice to get to the 90 mark, but with the other defensive attributes being as high as they are, I think you can certainly get away with that. We've nudged him up a bit with his technicals there. We've got his acceleration up to the 70 mark as well. So that for me could be a more rounded build. You could certainly get away with that, and he could still be very effective for you. So whether you do that or just do the build I did before and get all the defenses up to 90 plus, he's got real strengths as a centre back, this guy. If the playing style works for you, if you don't already have a version of Upamecano that's better than this one, I would recommend giving him a try. I mean, most of us, again, like with Kubo and Suárez, we've been given these cards as freebies, but some of us might have only just started playing the game, or maybe you missed out for whatever reason. If you did, it's worth considering, because like I say, he's a very, very good centre-back. There are downsides. Obviously, he's not got brilliant stamina there. He's not brilliant on the ball. The playing style might have worked for you. Inconsistent form is a bit of a downer, but he's got a great selection of skills. You don't really need anything there. If you're going to put skills in, I'll just put a couple more passing skills in. Maybe he's one touch and through. Maybe he's outside curler. But you've got everything you need defensively with the skills. And yeah, defensively, yes, the awareness is quite a lot lower than the other attributes, but it doesn't need to be much higher. It's still high. It's just the rest of them are crazy high. So yeah, if you want a good centre-back card, if you're not got a good version of Upamecano, this is well worth considering, because it is a good centre-back card, this. And now we have Mr. Sweeper Keeper, Manuel Neuer. So, of course, got a face scan. 6'4", unwavering form. Skill-wise, low punt, long throw, penalty saver, captaincy. There's a lot going for this guy. I mean, everyone knows how good Neuer is. Let's just jump straight over to eFootball Hub, see exactly how good this Manuel Neuer card is. So, it is unsurprisingly pretty damn good. What they've done in the boost they've given him, basically from his GP card, they put 3 on his goalkeeper awareness, but they've not really changed anything else. The other goalie attributes haven't changed. All they've done is they've put 3 on goalkeeper awareness and given him 2 extra levels. That's basically it, really. So it's not much of a boost, but he does stack up pretty well against the previous versions of him. There have been quite a few trainable versions from Bayern packs and so on, and a couple of Champions League Player of the Week ones. Obviously, the one with crazy distribution. Obviously, we can't compete with the distribution on that card. But yeah, both the trainables and Player of the Week ones, it stacks up pretty well. There's one Bayern one I can see from, I think it was from a Bayern pack quite a while back that was a bit better. But apart from that, yeah, this is pretty much par for the course. It's a good Neuer card. So again, I think it's a good card to give us as a freebie. The one downside to Neuer, anyone who's been playing the game for any length of time will already know this, but Manuel Neuer has some crazy player ID. He just loves to run out of his goal and play sweeper keeper. He thinks he's a midfielder. And if you play against someone with Neuer, lob him. because he will come off his line and you will have opportunities to lob him. And yeah, when I'm playing co-op, especially when you play co-op and you see the other team's got Neuer in goal, it's a lot of fun. You just spam shots in from 40 yards. You're almost guaranteed to score eventually. But that is the downside to Neuer. He does come rushing out of his goal. If you don't want that, yeah, be warned. But outside of that, the plus side to Neuer is he's a very, very good goalkeeper. Obviously, the awareness is fantastic there, 93. Reflex at 90. 94 reach on a goalie who's 6'4". He's got fantastic coverage of his goal. Slight weakness with the catching and parrying. They're not great. 81 and 82 fully boosted. So there is that. And in fact, this is auto allocation. So of course, they put 4 points on his aerial to get his jumping up. But we know from Player of the Week that goalkeepers don't need to be able to jump. So if we take the 3 of those points off, we can increase one of these. In fact, what if we took awareness down to 90? A couple off reach. I don't really want to take the parrying down. I was going to try and get the catching and parrying up. I would maybe just do that. Yeah. So awareness has gone down, but we're still at 90. We've got a bit more on the catching and parrying. Reflex at 93 and reach at 94. Yeah, I would maybe do that personally. Like I say, I mean, jumping is vertical. It's not about diving. Reach is for diving and making saves. Jumping is just for jumping vertically, catching, from corners and so on. Yeah, so catching and parrying, not the best. I'd maybe do that. I think that kind of just balances them out a little bit. But of course, you can go with the auto allocation if you prefer. Either way, he's a very good goalkeeper. He will make a lot of good saves for you, but he will come rushing out of his goal as well. That's the downside with Neuer, but unwavering form. And it's a Neuer card as well. Neuer at his age, I think he's about to sign another contract extension at Bayern, actually, so he may well get more Neuer cards, but you never know. It might, if you don't like spinning packs and so on, I don't know if we'll get another free one, so it might be worth picking up if you like Neuer, given the stage of his career he's at, but yeah, regardless, it's a good goalie card. If you don't mind the fact he runs out his goal a lot, he is a good goalie. I've got both of the Champions League ones actually. He has done well for me, but I only use him in co-op because of the fact he rushes out of his goal. I don't trust him for that reason, 1v1, but he certainly does make good saves. He's a good goalie, and if you want a good Neuer card, this could be well worth considering with your selection contract thingy if you didn't get him for free the first time around. So yeah, good goalie card, and it's a pretty good version of Neuer. And now we'll take a look at Kimmich. So, orchestrator as always, unwavering form as always, got a face scan as always. Skill-wise, I mean, you know what to expect from these cards. Like I said, they don't really change the profile. It's the same skills on these highlight cards. One touch and through, weighted, pinpoint crossing, interception, side and tackle, good session skills for defensive mid. If anything, I'd think about maybe putting man marking and blocker on as a defensive mid. I think it'd be worth putting those on, but he's got a pretty good session to start with. So let's jump over to eFootball Hub. How good is this Kimmich card? So fully maxed and boosted and everything. Pretty decent, but it's not great compared to other versions of him. So the attribute that boosted most of his GB card is ball control. I put about 4 points in his ball control. Not much of a boost elsewhere really, but 4 on ball control. It's a good attribute to boost on a midfielder, certainly. If you look at the blue lock one, we had a blue lock version when they did the blue lock campaign. As a centre midfielder, the blue lock one is better, but as a defensive midfielder, this one comes out a bit better. There was a nominating contract one, which a lot of you might have picked up from that 100 cap elites, I think it was called. Similar story. That one's better as a centre midfielder, but this one I think is slightly better as a defensive midfielder. Not a massive difference. So yeah, it does seem like the kind of profile in terms of the attributes, the way the attributes are balanced out. This one is kind of leaning towards being more of a defensive player. Not quite so great offensively, technically. A couple of player of the week cards we've had of Kimmich, slightly better than this one as well. And if you look at the trainable versions of Kimmich, we've had quite a lot of trainable versions of Kimmich that are better than this as well, to be honest, especially the legend one, of course. But I see quite a few trainable ones from Bayern packs and so on that are better versions of Kimmich than this one on the whole. So he's not a great version of him in my opinion, but it's still a good card. It might just be one of these ones where if you've not been playing the game long, or for whatever reason you just still don't have a good version of Kimmich and you want one, definitely a good card. Just I don't think he's that great compared to previous ones. But as you can see with the attributes, defensively he's fantastic for a defensive midfielder. Passing is good enough for a defensive mid. On the ball, tidy enough. Down the right, everything's just about okay. I'd like a bit more physical contact, maybe a bit more pace, but on the whole, this is a good defensive mid. If you're going to move up to centre mid, like I say, this card is kind of geared more towards being a defensive player. The attacking awareness sucks. That's really low. So as a centre mid, that's a bit of a concern, but we'll just train him out now. We'll start as a defensive mid and we'll see how good he is. So as a defensive mid, like I say, he looks very strong. If you were going to get the physical contact up a bit, I'm not sure where he'd really get the points from. I mean, he could just nudge one off lower body and he's still got 90 stamina, kicking past still over 80. You could just literally do that. And to be honest, you see what the passing is. If you take that game plan boost off, we see again, you're 84. You put 1 on passing, you're going to get a boost of 2 because it starts going up by 3 instead of 2. So I reckon it's worth just nudging. You could even take 2 off dribbling, to be honest. Put 1 on passing, and then low pass go from 86 to 88. Yes, the dribbling's gone below 70, but he's not going to be good at dribbling either way. I think I would probably be inclined to do that as a defensive mid. If you want to be a real defensive mid, protect your defence. That for me is a strong defensive midfielder. Yes, there have been better versions of Kimmich, but that as a defensive mid looks pretty strong to me. And like I said before we come over to eFootball Hub, yeah, he's got interception, fighting spirit, slide and tackle, but I would put man marking blocker on him. If you gave him man marking blocker, I think you'd have a really, really nice defensive midfielder there. And as a centre mid, or just as an all-round, more of an all-round build, it's more of a kind of deep line playmaker, because you can play him as a DMF and not have him as strong defensively. But if we just kind of balance out his attributes a bit, so he's more suited to playing centre mid, not as defensive minded, you could take a bunch of points off defending. We'll go down to 7 initially, see if that gives us enough points. Dexterity is the issue. I mean, it's just the attacking awareness, to be honest, because the balance is all right. Acceleration, not really a problem. We'll just go 4 on dexterity for now. Definitely put a couple more on dribbling. It's only going to take 4 points to get his low pass to 90. Where would you go next as an all-rounder? I think dexterity, that attacking awareness, you want him to react quicker to the ball. I'll just put those last points on dexterity, I think. I'll probably do that. I mean, if you really wanted to, if you're really not too bothered about the defensive work, you could take a few more off defending. Or just a couple more and put them on dexterity. It's a shame to go below 90 on engagement and tackling, but they're pretty high in the high 80s. I think for an all-rounder as a centre mid or as a deep line playmaker, I think they're fine. You just 1 away from 70 for attacking race is a bit annoying, but I'm just going to leave that there. I think that's probably what I'd do. Like I say, though, if you look at the way this card's kind of balanced out in terms of the attributes, it is more of a defensive-minded Kimmich. So looking at other versions of him that are better, as a centre midfielder, you're going to get more value from a lot of other versions of Kimmich, I think. But this is still a good card. You can certainly still make him a very good all-rounder. Whether you consider him a deep line playmaker in like a double pivot maybe as a DMF, or whether you push him a bit further as a centre midfielder where that orchestrator playing style is still going to be active. He's not going to be making too many attacking runs as an orchestrator anyways. But yeah, that attacking runs is a bit of a letdown, but he can really pass the ball. He's got a great pass on him, and he's still got plenty of defensive ability there. A bit of physical strength. Got the bounce over 90. Stamina's at 90. So yeah, there's a lot to be said for him. It's just not quite as good as other versions of him. But we'll just quickly look at right back. He's got right back as well. In fact, he could train him as a centre back. This could be interesting. Are we going to get another glitch centre back? Oof, maybe. You want to play Kimmich as a centre back? I mean, he's a bit short. He needs a few defensive skills. You could get away with that. Can we get him a bit stronger aerially? Not really. Yeah, I don't know. If you really want to make Kimmich a centre back, I guess you could. I'm not sure I'd want to do that, but that could be an option. Right midfield, again, the attacking awareness, I don't think so. He's not the quickest. Let's just see what the auto allocation says for right mid. Certainly have a great cross on him. That could be an option, to be fair. I mean, the attacking awareness is horrible. Is there much scope for kind of freeing up more points? Not really. Yeah, I mean, if you really wanted him on the right, he'd be a bit slower, so he'd be one of these kind of Beckham-type wingers whipping crosses in. He's not much of a dribbler, not the quickest. Got very good defensive ability. Maybe as a right wing back, I guess, but again, that pace. And we're going to find the same thing at right back, so I'm just going to go straight to doing a right back build now. So start with the auto allocation. What's that telling us as a right back? It's telling us he's really good apart from the pace. Technically very nice for a right back. Defensively fantastic for a right back. Down the right, all of this is good enough except for his pace. Speed is nowhere near quick enough. Acceleration is a little bit low as well. Could you free up some points? Yeah. Let's see. Can we make him usable as a right back? I don't know. I'm going to take all those points off dribbling for now because I think the speed is important. I'll take that away. You could take all the defending points away, to be honest. I'm going to look at him as an attacking right back. Go up to 12 and lower body. 8 dexterity. Is it worth doing? I don't know. Maybe. I still think the speed's too low. I think defensively he's still fine with no points on there at all. Technically, yes, the dribbling really sucks, but he's not going to be much of a dribbler regardless, especially without more speed. I think the physical with no points on it is still okay at 75. Great balance, outstanding stamina, great kicking power. I think he's usable as a right back. You know, some people might not mind a right back not having too much speed, in which case he's got plenty of qualities there. Great selection skills out of the box for a right back. Again, I'd throw in man marking and blocker, important defensive skills. But yeah, if you wanted to use him as an attacking right back, you probably could get away with it. But like I say, that speed would be a bit let down for me. But I think certainly in his main position, just leaving him on auto allocation to finish up here, can be very good as a defensive-minded defensive mid. Could make him more of an all-rounder as well. So it could be a good card if you want a good version of Kimmich and you don't have one. But like I say, compared to other cards, it doesn't quite stack up as well as most of them to other versions of him. There have been quite a few better trainable versions and player of the weeks of Kimmich. So not the best version of him, but if you don't have a good version of him and you want one, as a defensive mid especially, it is a pretty good card still. So let's move on to the new Tsubasa cards that have just been added with the volume 2 of the collaboration campaign thingy, Bob, whatever it's called. So Tomori from AC Milan, centre back, build up. That's always been his playing style on his GP card. There's been one or two other versions of him that were destroyer. Certainly there was a legend version of him that was a destroyer. Of course, has his face scan. Only standard form. Skill wise, he doesn't have all the skills he needs. He's always been a bit lacking. They have changed his skills at one point. I bought the very first AC Milan pack on eFootball, and I've still got my Tomori card, and he's not got heading. I don't think he's got acrobatic clearance, but he does have aerial superiority. So they did slightly shuffle his skills a bit at some point, but yeah, you do need to put aerial superiority back on him, and then you'll need blocker, and I think that'll be just about it in terms of the ones he really needs. Maybe a few passing ones on top. I feel like he's lacking another defensive skill, is he? No, just blocker and aerial. I think blocker and aerial, unless I'm missing something. Let me know if I'm missing something. But yeah, defensively, blocker and aerial superiority. And then maybe 1 or 2 passing skills on top of that. But yeah, let's have a look on eFootball. How good is this version of Tomori? So we've had a bunch of versions of him. And to be honest, this one stacks up pretty well. The attribute that boosted most of his GP cards is acceleration. They put about 4 or 5 points on his acceleration, which is good. Apart from that, again, not a massive boost, but it's a pretty good version of him. He stacks up pretty well against most of the better versions of Tomori that we've had. Obviously, the Legend one is the best one we've had. He can't compete with that one, but we've had training balls, we've had Player of the Weeks, and this one stacks up pretty well. It's a good version of Tomori. Defensively, strong. Physically, that's the one question mark for me. He's a little bit lacking in physical strength, but the jumping is good. You will need aerial superiority still. Pace is good for a centre-back, not just the speed, but the acceleration, both at 80. Like I say, they've boosted his acceleration for this card. Kicking power at least hits a 70 mark. Balance is close to 70. Stamina's decent enough. Low pass is over 70. He's not too bad technically. Yeah, this isn't a bad card. If you gave him the couple of skills, blocker and aerial superiority, I think you can have a pretty decent centre-back here. I would like a bit more physical strength, like I say. Could we do much about that? If we nick 1 from defending, we're still 90 plus in all those. It gets 1 onto aerial. If we could free up 3 points, then we could get the physical from 86 to 88. It's at that mark. Would that be worthwhile? I guess that's up to you, really. For me personally, I'll be tempted to take a few off dexterity. It's a bit of a shame because it's nice to have the speed and acceleration both at 80, but physical strength is very important. So I personally would do that. But if you're not too bothered about the physical contact, you think it's fine where it is, you could well just leave it back there. Or you could go with auto allocation. You can train your players how you like. This is just how I would do it. I'm never going to tell people how to train players. I'm just going to give you suggestions based on how I would do it. But yeah, either way, whether you nudge that physical up a bit higher, which I personally think you should, or if you leave it like that, which I think a lot of people would prefer, this speed and acceleration both at 80, still physically okay, even if he's not as high as I'd like him to be. He's not bad, he's just about okay in the mid-80s. Jumping's great, defendings are strong. It's a pretty strong centre-back card, this, to be honest. There's not a lot more to say about it. He does stack up well against most versions of Tomori, to be honest, so you like a build-up centre-back, especially if you rock a Milan squad, if you're a Milan fan, or an England squad even. It's a solid card, this. I would give him aerial superiority and block, but if you give him those skills, I think there's a lot to be said for this card, and it's a good version of him. Right back, I'll quickly check that, but I don't think he's going to come out very nice as a right back, or is he? So I think as a right back, you're definitely going to be using him as a defensive right back. I don't think anyone who likes an attacking right back is going to want to use this guy in that position. I certainly wouldn't, because down the left you see there, he's not good technically, but if you like a real defensive right back, like an auxiliary centre back, you could certainly get away with him. He's quicker than Kimmich, but yeah, speed's still an issue for me. Would you take points away from elsewhere? I don't know. I'd probably leave him something like this, to be honest. I think it'd be difficult to make him quicker without taking so many points away from elsewhere that it kind of really just weakens him, and he kind of wouldn't be quite so great there anymore. But and he would need 1 or 2 passing skills as well. So yeah, I don't know. It could be an option as a defensive right back, as a real out and out defensive right back with the defensive instruction on him. But I think certainly whether it's auto allocation or whether you tweak him like I did, I think he's a very usable centre back. He's defensively strong. Slight question mark over the physical strength, but aerially, if you give him aerial superiority, he'll be fine in the air, and he's certainly got pretty nice pace, speed and acceleration at 80 there for a centre back. It's very good, and it stacks up well against other versions of Tomori. So yeah, if you like Tomori, it's a good version of him, or if you just want a new centre back, it's a very viable option. I'll put a couple of skills on him, but I think it'd be worth it. It's a good card, this. And now we have Raphinha. What a season he's having for Barca. So face scan, I still think that needs updating. It looks a bit out of date to me. But yeah, prolific winger, he can play left or right. He's got attacking midfield now. I personally feel like he should have SS. He seems like he's more of an SS than a wide forward at times for Barca this season, at least in my opinion. But yeah, we've got attacking mid that's been thrown in alongside left and right wing. We've got unwavering form. I don't know when they changed that, but I don't think he's always been unwavering. That's good. What we've got skill-wise on Raphinha. So yeah, the question mark with Raphinha is always the end product. We've got pinpoint crossing, and then in terms of end product, we've got nothing else really. We've got acrobatic finishing, but it's just a bunch of skill moves, and heel trigger and outside curl are nice. But yeah, you know what you get with Raphinha: pace, the dribbling, and then you just got to see. You've got to ask yourself, is the end product going to be good enough? But let's jump over to eFootball Hub, and we will find out. So how good is this Raphinha? So end product wise, I've seen worse. Just in terms of the end product, it's an upgrade on the one that I've got. I've got an old version of Raphinha. But yeah, like I say, you know what you're getting. You've got a great pace. He's going to be good on the ball. But is his passing going to be good enough? Is his finishing going to be good enough? Compared to some versions, it is decent. It's not the best version of Raphinha. So first off, from his GP card, the biggest boost he's had is balance. And that's a good one, because some of his cards in the past, even when he maxed them out, his balance is still in the 70s. But they've put about 4 points, I think, on his balance from his GP card, and that shows up at 86 now, so that's good. Apart from that, not much of a boost. Same deal with most of these cards. They're putting a bunch of points on one attribute and the rest are just going up by like 1 or 2, maybe 3 on some of these cards. So not a massive boost, but the balance is up a bit. We had a Showtime version of him recently. That's obviously the best version of him. It's a great card. Apart from that, we've had quite a few other versions, both trainable versions and Player of the Week cards, that are a bit better than this one. So it's not the best. There are quite a few better ones we've had, but it's still a decent card. And it's not too far off most of the better ones, to be honest. So yeah, it doesn't rank too well, but it's still good. And like I say, the end product, higher than it has been. My version of Raphinha, I'm pretty sure the low pass on auto allocation is like 67 or something, which is horrible. But with auto allocation here, they've only put 4 points on passing. It's at 74. Lofted pass, only 1 away from the 80 mark, and he does have pinpoint crossing. So yeah, this is a decent looking version of Raphinha. Would I change much? Yes, because I want to get some more end product on him. Question is, where can you afford to take the points away? I think the obvious place is the pace. You can nick a bit off his dexterity. Leave the attacking awareness at 80. I won't go below 80 on that. Lower body, I don't like to take the kicking power too low. I like a bit of kicking power, but I'm going to just do that for now. Just see how good we can get his end product. I'll be tempted to do that. Maybe just do that. His crossing will be decent. It won't be amazing, but 83 lofted with 82 curl, 81 kicking power, pinpoint crossing. You'll have a decent cross on him. So if you're going to put him on the left, either as a left wing or if you position train him as a left mid, pace, dribbling, he's not as quick as he was, but still quick. You'll have a half decent cross on him. His low pass up to 78. If you are going to get this guy and use him a lot, I would look at putting one touch pass and through passing on him, because his low pass isn't great. So yeah, left wing could be an option. If I would train him something like that, really try and make the most of the fact he's got pinpoint crossing and get that lofted pass into the 80s. If you're going to use him on the right flank, I wouldn't worry so much about the crossing. It's more about long range curler, I think. If you come use him on the right, I think most people would like to use him in his main kind of registered position as a right wing forward, cutting in onto his left foot, in which case long range curler, that's one skill he's always lacking. Long range curler would make a big difference. So passing, not such of an issue. So you go back down to 4. You could even take all the points of passing if you want. Can we get that finishing up to 80? Yes, bang on, perfect. Yeah, I would do exactly that. So give him long range curler, play him on the right. Again, we've taken a bit of pace away, but he's still 90 and 93, their speed acceleration. Get that finishing up to the 80 mark, give him long range curler, still great on the ball, attacking range at 80 as well. As a prolific winger on the right flank, cutting in onto his left foot could be very decent. And again, he does have more balance than he often does. So yeah, both flanks, you've got a pretty decent option there. It's not the best version of Raphinha, but certainly a very usable one, and I think it's not. I don't think it's too far off most of the better versions of it, to be honest, except for the Showtime one, of course. Attacking midfield, not for me. I mean, let's just see what the auto allocation says. How many points they're going to put on his passing? Attacking midfielder was 78 low pass, fully boosted, and no passing skills. No, thank you. Could you make him any better than that? Let's just see. Let's at least get his speed to 90. How good can you make his passing? Not great. Yeah, I don't know. You would absolutely need one touch pass and through passing on him. Maybe he's long range shooting as well. And again, long range curler. But 81 low pass for me. I don't know. He's certainly got pace. He's going to be pretty good on the ball. But would you want attacking with a low pass as low as that? I think some people will be okay with that. If you'd be okay with that, I would, I'll say it again, one touch pass and through pass would be crucial. But if you give him those skills as an attacking mid, getting him on the ball, feeling nice on the ball with the pace he's got, he should make enough attacking runs with his attacking awareness over 80. He won't have an active playing style. With the attacking awareness as an attacking mid, should make a decent amount of attacking runs. He could be an option for you there. But like I say, that passing for me personally is a bit on the low side. The other position you could train him in, you could make him a striker. Can you? How good can he be as a striker? Awareness you can get away with. Finishing, not so much. Can he nick the points from anywhere else? Make his finishing better? Not really. Yeah, that's iffy. I mean, he could get away with it, but is it worth it? Yeah, the acceleration is amazing. Speed's good at 90, bounce at 91, but he's not as great on the ball anymore. Not great at passing. Finishing's not great. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think for me, I would leave this guy as a right winger, and I'll train him as I did. I'll get that finishing up to the 80 mark, and I think if you do that, it could be pretty decent. Like I say, there have been better versions of Raphinha. How did I get his finishing up to? There you go. That's what I did, isn't it? Something like that. Yeah. There have been better versions of Raphinha, quite a few of them, but I think apart from the Showtime one, this isn't too far away from the better ones. And like I say, he does have better balance than he normally does, and he's got a bit more in product than a lot of previous versions, especially the version that I've got. So yeah, I think if you've got a good version of Raphinha, then you might not need this one. But if you don't, I think this is a pretty good version of him. It's not the best. There have been better ones, but depending how you train him, you could make him a half decent left winger. Maybe not even half decent, a decent, very decent left winger. And you can make him a very decent right wing as well. And if you don't mind the fact his passing sucks, you could even use him as an attacking mid. So yeah, it's not the best version of him, but he's got qualities. You know what they are. He's quick, he's great on the ball. And if you can work around the end product not being brilliant, you've got a few ways you could use him. It could be a pretty decent card. And now we have Fermín López. So got a face scan, whole player, centre midfielder apparently. Only standard form. What we got skill wise? Not a huge amount in terms of end product, just through passing. So got a few skill moves for you. Hill trick's nice. Rising shot, trap back, fighting spirit. I think that's pretty accurate, to be honest. I imagine you'll get 1 or 2 shooting skills at some point. I know in this current Player of the Week card they've added a few shooting skills and stuff. But yeah, let's jump over to eFootball Hub, see how good this Fermín López card is. So it is pretty decent. But like I said, when I was reviewing the Player of the Week version of him, they've got him down as a centre midfielder, and when you fully train a centre midfielder on auto allocation, they put points on defending. So are you going to use him as a centre midfielder? Do you want him to be able to defend? For me personally, I think that's pointless. I think it's a waste. He's a whole player. You want to make the most of that playing style, making attacking runs. There are no defensive skills there. You don't want this guy defending. You want him getting forward. So yeah, on auto allocation as a centre mid, you like that? You want to use him that way as a centre mid? Great. I mean, you can nick a couple from passing there, put them on defending. 2 points left. Put him on aerial. There you go. That's about as defensive as I think you'd want to make him, really. Do you want to do that? Great, good for you. But I want him getting forward as a whole player, so I'm going to look at this guy as an attacking midfielder or as a left winger. So for me, I'm taking all those points back off defending. Thank you very much. And those 2 from aerial. He's already in the 90s, all these down here. What can we do with dexterity first? We can get him up to 90 for acceleration and balance. And the last 3 points, I'm just going to stick him on lower body, I think. No, I'm not. I'm going to put him on shooting. Oh, 1 away from 80. Damn it. You can actually take 1 away from lower body, and you've still got 90 kicking power. Gets you to 80 finishing, and 1 left, stick on aerial. Yeah, for me as an attacking mid, I'm doing that. And that looks pretty nice. As a whole player, attacking when it's 85. He's good on the ball, 90 plus in all 3 of them. Low pass at 90. He's got through passing. I would give him 1 touch passing as well. I would stick long range shooting and long range curler on him, regardless of whether you're going to play him through the middle or wide left. I think it's worth putting those skills on him. Maybe it's outside curler as well, although he's pretty 2-footed, actually. See, it's outside curler, not a huge issue. I do like it on most of my players, but yeah, 1 touch pass, long range shooting, long range curler. I'll be putting those on him for end product. But he's got the attributes. He can pass it. He'll have a decent finish on him. Speed's not brilliant, but acceleration at 90, kicking power 90, balance 90. Stamina's decent as well, which is important on the whole player because he can make a lot of runs. And he's got trap back as well. So he's one of these players. He's got the whole player playing style, but he's got trap back. So he's going to run forward a lot, but he's going to trap back a lot. He's going to be running and running. So yeah, important. He's got a bit of stamina about him. And yeah, I've got the point store one. I think a lot of people probably pick that one up from the point store since there's nothing else to spend your points on. I won't have that rant again right now. But yeah, I've had some fun with mine from the point store. I've used him mainly as a left mid. I put a bit more speed on mine. He's been pretty decent for me, to be honest. So this one I'm looking at thinking, is he an upgrade? Because if he's any better than the one I got from the point store, I'm getting him. And it looks like he is a bit better, to be honest. So he's a bit better than the point store one. There was one version of Fermín in some kind of legend box. It's one of those ones with the kind of dark green football in the background. That one is a bit better than this one. I think that's the best version we got of him. But it's not a lot of difference, just a few stats kind of shuffled around. If you look at the Player of the Week one this week, as I said when I was reviewing it, if you train this one to try and match it up as an attacking mid, it matches up pretty well, to be honest. So yeah, you don't need to spend your coins on that card, in my opinion. Yes, there are some skills added to that Player of the Week card, but you can put the skills on this one. So yeah, this is a good version of Fermín now. He's at a I've been saying with some of the other cards in out of this selection, the Tsubasa cards, most of them haven't had much of a boost. They put a few points in one attribute, the rest just go up by 1 or 2. But this is one of the cards that's had one of the biggest boosts out of all these Tsubasa cards, to be honest. They put a few points on most of his attributes, and the one attribute that boosted the most, they put 7 on his attacking awareness. That's significant, that is. So a really nice boost on his attacking awareness. So yeah, this is a nice looking version of Fermín, to be honest. If you got that one from the legend box, whichever box that one was in, then you will have a slightly better one. But outside of that, this is good. This is a really nice looking card. This, like I say, he does feel nice to me. I've enjoyed using him. He's very responsive. He's got some kicking power on him, and all these 90 plus attributes with his technicals, good attacking runs, which marries up perfectly with his whole player playing style. He can finish as well. It's a pretty nice card, this. So yeah, through the middle of the attacking mid, very nice. But I use him wide left. So can we make him a left winger? We can, but how good can we make him? So the one place we're going to scrimp some points for is passing. If you're going to play him wide left, passing not as important. So I'm going to go down to 4 on passing. And the one thing I want to boost is his speed, because he's got the acceleration. He's already good on the ball. It's just speed we need to boost. How high can we get his speed? Get to 88. I think that'll do, to be honest. 1 point left. No, just to get straight back on aerial. I think I'd probably just do that as a left wing. I think he's got a few more points on the speed than my one. Like I say, he looks like an upgrade on that point still one. So yeah, 88 speed. I'd like to hit the 90 mark, but you're not far off. Acceleration 90. Kicking power is now 95. 95 kicking power. You're going to notice that. So finishing's at 80. 95 kicking power. You give this guy a long range curler and long range shooting, he's going to have a decent shot on him. Still 90. It's the same place on the ball attributes, all 90 plus. Still good attacking runs as a whole player. So whether you use this guy as a left midfielder with the active playing style, whole player, darting inside, making good attacking runs into spaces, or whether you use him as a left wing forward without an active playing style, but with the attacking runs at 85, he will make some good attacking runs. It's telling you he's 100 rated there. That says a lot. Bit of pace about him, very responsive with the kicking power. You give this guy a long range curler, make him a left wing forward, could be very, very nice. So yeah, like I say, he's had one of the best boosts from his GP card out of all of these Tsubasa cards. Nice boost on his attacking runs especially. Yes, there's been one better one that's in that legend pack at some point recently, and the player of the week one's very good, but I think this one matches up even to the player of the week one. If you train him to kind of try and match those attributes, I think it's a good card. This, you could play it through the middle as a number 10. I think it'd be very decent. And in my experience, I've used one that's not quite as good as this from the point store, playing wide left, coming off the left flank as a left midfielder, mainly in the Spanish League Challenge, and I found him really nice. I like him. So yeah, this card for me is one of the better ones out of this selection. And just as a slight upgrade on the one that I've already got, I'm going to be using, I think I'm almost certainly going to use my selection contract on him. So yeah, very neat card this, so well worth considering. And next we have Maignan, Magic Mike from AC Milan. Got his face scan, of course. Attacking keeper, unwavering form, 6'3". High punt, long throw, penalty save for captaincy. Just needs low punt, really. But, I mean, not everyone needs low punt. Most people do. But, yeah, he's a good goalie, Mike Maignan. Is this a good version of him? Let's find out. Let's go over to eFootball Hub. So, all maxed out, fully boosted. He's pretty decent. From his GP card, the one attribute they've really boosted, they put 4 on his reach, which is good. Not always got amazing reach. He does have a decent height on him, 6'3", but at 6'3", now getting that reach up towards 90, that's good. The other goalie stats, they've just put 1 on them. So yeah, again, like most of these cards, not a massive boost, but his overall rating goes 3 higher than his GP card. So yeah, on the whole, it's a pretty good version of Maignan. I can only see one other free version we've had of him. There was one, it was a France card ages ago, like at least 2 years ago now. Something like that. This one's a bit better than that card. I had that card for ages until I got a good player of the week one. But yeah, this is better than that free one, the France one. And it stacks up pretty well against most of his trainers, to be honest. It's around about the same kind of level, very similar to most of the better ones. Except the Showtime one. There was a Showtime one, obviously that's the best one. It's always the case. But yeah, stacks up pretty well. It's a solid version of Maignan. If you've got a good version of him already, then you probably don't need a new one. They do tend to shuffle his stats around a little bit. There's always 1 or 2 that aren't quite so high. It does vary a bit, but yeah, this is a solid version of Maignan. If you don't have a good version of him, he is a good keeper. Got a very high jump in there. I'm going to take those points away. They always put 4 on aerial. What are we going to do here? I'm going to just see how many we can get to that 90 mark. Not all of them, sadly. But yeah, I'm just going to do that, I think. Get that awareness up to 90. Reflex is still over 90. Reach is at 89 still. Yeah, I think I'll just do that, just slightly tweak him. Good to get the awareness up to the 90 mark. Yeah, it's a solid version of Maignan. There's not a great deal to say about him, really. A goalie's a goalie. There's nothing spectacular about him. He's a decent size. He's got decent reach. The awareness and reflex are at 90 or so. It's not on the level of the best keepers these days, you know, especially with the legend ones and so on. And even some of the player ones like Bilo in the Champions League pack I think I probably downplayed how good that Bailo card is, to be honest, because most of his attributes are hitting 90. But yeah, this is a good solid keeper. If you want a good keeper for your Italian league squad, for your AC Milan squad, solid, good goalkeeper. If you just want a good goalie in general, he's pretty solid. He can do your job. Like I say, there are better goalkeepers these days, but this is a good one. So yeah, even if you got that free Maignan from the free France one from ages ago, this is a slight upgrade, and it does stack up pretty well against most of the better trainable versions that we've had of Maignan. So yeah, it's a good solid goalkeeper, this. Next, it is Captain America, well, Christian Pulišić from AC Milan. That is an old face scan. I'm sure that's his first face scan when he was at Dortmund. I'm pretty sure. I'm sure it's the same face scan he had when I had him in Master League when he was playing for Dortmund years ago. But yeah, regular positions, he's always left wing or right wing. I don't know why they've not added the attacking middle as he's been playing through the middle quite a lot for Milan this season, and he's been doing really well there as well. So yeah, I imagine there'll be a change at some point to his GB card. But as it is, he's got his old positions, left wing or right wing forward, and his standard form, skill-wise, he's got long range curler, that'll be good coming off the left flank, through passing, good. Okay, so a couple of important ones there, a couple of skill moves, soul control, heel trick. He's a super sub, nice. He's a captain as well, cool. Yeah, let's jump over to eFootball Hub then. How good is this version of Pulišić? So, max him out, boost him up. He's decent, so similar to Raphinha really in terms of where the strengths are and where the weaknesses are. He's got the pace, he's good on the ball, just not brilliant with the end product, but he certainly could be worse. Low pass, and he's got through passing. Yeah, you have to be careful not to ask too much from him, whatever you do in terms of passing and shooting. But obviously there are wingers with worse end product than that, certainly. What they've done with him from his GP card, again, it's not a massive boost, but the one attribute they've boosted the most. To be fair, most of these players they've boosted a pretty, they've made a pretty good choice for the attribute they've boosted the most. But with Christian Pulišić, physical contact. They put about 5 points on physical contact. I'm not sure that's the one that most of us would have wanted. I'd have preferred low pass or finishing maybe, but yeah, he's a bit stronger physically now. Great. It's a decent version of him. We've had one or two better versions of Pulišić, but I think, to be honest, most versions of Pulišić haven't been quite as good, or they've been around the same level. It's a pretty good version of him. So yeah, if you want a good version of him, it's definitely a decent one to pick up. What would I do with him? I mean, got a few positions that we could train him. You can make him a striker even. Let's just start with him. I'll do it the other way around this time. We'll see what allocation going to tell us. Centre forward. Nah, not really. Could you throw up enough points to get his finishing higher? Kind of. That's about what you can do, really. Do you want to make him a striker? I mean, you could. Got the pace, got acceleration, 98. Yeah, wow. Balance 92, awareness up to 89, finishing 84. I mean, he could nick one more off dexterity, actually get his finish up one higher. Is it worth it? I don't know. If you've always wanted to position train Pulišić as a striker, there you go. Decent. He could do a job for you. I'm not sure I'll be doing that. Let's just look at him as a wide forward again. Go back to what he's supposed to be. So left wing forward. So yeah, auto allocation, that might work for you. You might not want to change anything. Got the pace, good on the ball, good attacking awareness. Just be careful with the end product there, but he does have through passing and long range curler. So yeah, got a pretty good suction skills there. But if you did want to beef up his end product a bit, I think you could probably afford to nick a few off his dribble in there, maybe a couple. See the tight possession when you get to 88, it's going to go down by 2 the next time you go down. It's at that mark. I'm just going to leave it there at 88. I guess it depends what you prioritise. You can go straight onto shooting, gets finishing to 80. I think most people would probably prefer to do that as a wide forward, left wing, inverted winger, cutting onto his right foot. He's got long range curler, 80 for finishing, got a bit of curl about him. In fact, if he nicked one off passing, in fact, no, 2 off passing. There you go, you can get his curl to 8 as well. Lovely. Finishing 81, curl 80, kicking power 83, still got the pace. Yeah, could be pretty effective off that left flank as an inverted winger, to be honest. From the right wing, I wouldn't even look at that. You know, he's not got great lofted pass. He's not got pinpoint crossing. He's not got outside curl, I don't think. No, so yeah. I think you're definitely going to look at this guy as an inverted wing off the left wing with the pace, his ability on the ball, and just nudging up his finishing a little bit. Or if you preferred, you could just leave the points off his shooting if you wanted to kind of playmate with him a bit, because he does have through passing. Oh, I just noticed there's 1 point on defending. Thank you. I'll take that back. Oh, there's nowhere to put it. I'll put it on aerial. But yeah, whether you want to focus on the passing or on the finishing, you can at least get one of those up to the 80 mark. He's a decent card, this. He's a decent version of Pulišić. Like I say, 1 or 2 better ones that we've had, but There've been quite a few that aren't any better than this one, so if you've not got a good version of him and you want one, it could be worth picking up. He's certainly going to looks pretty tidy. He's a pacey, tricky wide man. He's a super sub as well. Always nice to have a super sub. Any other positions we need to look at? I'm not going to make him a centre mid. There's no way he's good enough defensively or physically, but attacking mid, it's kind of been playing as a bit of an attacking mid for Milan. Let's just see what auto allocation says. Is it worth position training him for attacking mid? He's got through passing. Maybe. Could we make him a bit better with his passing, maybe? Get a kicking power to 80. I reckon we can make one half decent. Attacking mid. Need 1 point. Oh, there's one on defending. Perfect. Boop. There we go. We can go from 86 to 80 at low pass. Yeah, you could make him an attacking mid. I kind of like Raphinha, really. It's a question of, you know, whether it's worth it with the qualities you got. Is that the kind of attacking mid you want? You've got the pace and the technical ability. You can certainly get his passing decent. Low pass 88 with a through passing skill already there. Not the strongest physically, but yeah, it's an option for you if you wanted to use a position trainer. Have him playing without an active playing style as an attacking midfielder, you could certainly do that, but I think most people would stick with something like the auto allocation, use him as an inverted wing off the left flank. You could take some points away from either pace or dribbling, beef up his end product in terms of the passing or the finishing or both. It's entirely up to you, but certainly he's got the pace and the trickery to be, I think, a pretty decent option as a wide man, and he's a super sub as well. So yeah, it's a decent version of Pulišić, this. And next we have Théo. We've had a few Théos on this game. He, of course, has his face scan. He's a fullback finisher, as he usually is. Only standard form. Skill-wise, it's the usual situation. Loads going forward, but nothing really defensively. He can certainly shoot, pass, and cross a bit, at least in terms of the skills, but nothing defensively there. Let's just jump straight over to eFootball, see how good this Théo is. So he is all right, and again, it's the usual situation. You know, down the left, you've got some decent attributes there. Defensively, a little bit iffy, and then down the right, got really good athleticism there. So it's a question of whether you leave him like that, you just go for loads of pace, or if you try and bounce him out a bit, which I think most people who've been watching my videos for a while will know that's exactly what I'm going to do. But firstly, just to compare him to other versions, again, like with Pulišić, slightly interesting choice of the attribute to boost the most. So most of his attributes only up by 1 or 2. Again, not a massive boost, although he's got a few extra levels compared to his GP card. But the one they boosted the most, attacking awareness. They put about 5 points on his attacking awareness. Is that really the best attribute on a fullback? I mean, he's a fullback finisher, so if you really like your fullback finishers and you like the way they get forward and getting into good positions when you're on the attack, then yeah, maybe that'll be good for you. But otherwise, maybe not so much. But yeah, let's just see what we can do with this guy. So yeah, where do you start? I mean, lower body, we can certainly nick a few points from there. You can go all the way down to maybe 6. I'll leave the stamina at 90. Dexterity, that's one of the things with Théo. He's not got great balance. You can afford to lose a few from acceleration, but can you afford to lose a few from balance? I don't know. To be honest, I would like that attacking awareness to be a bit lower, because I don't want my fullbacks to be moving forward that much. And with higher attacking awareness, they will make more attacking runs. They'll push up the pitch. So I'm going to take a few away from dexterity. I'm just going to accept the fact that his balance is not the best. What's that give us? 22 points. Lovely jubbly. So first off, a couple on defending. At least get his tackling up to 80 and awareness. And then we'll just make him a bit better on the ball. Get all those to 80 plus, actually. Let's see if we can get his crossing up to 18. Or lofty passes 1 away. Can we nip one from somewhere? Not really. Damn it. It's not the end of the world, is it? Yeah, I'm just going to leave him like that. Yeah. I mean, we've got 2 points left. I'll put him somewhere. Put him on... decisions. I'll stick him back on lower body. I think I would do that. That's roughly how I've trained Théo in the past. I don't have a trainable Théo at the moment because I actually got rid, because I've got one of the player of the week ones. I've got the one that's a centre back, and as much as he's not great technically, he's got a couple of defensive skills which he's normally lacking. So I'll use that one as a left back. This one does actually stack up pretty well against player of the week versions in terms of the attributes, not so much in terms of the skills. You do need to put defensive skills on him, interception, maybe some man marking, blocker as well. But yeah, in terms of the attributes, he stacks up pretty well against most of the player of the week ones. He's around about the same as the recent Milan pack that got released. I'm not sure if that's still available. It's around about the same level already. But we have had quite a few better versions of Théo, trainable versions. So it's not the best version of him. There's especially a Showtime one, which is obviously the best. That was an attacking fullback actually. Interesting they changed the playing style on that one. I think they gave edge crossing as well. But yeah, we had quite a few versions of Théo, and quite a few of them are a bit better than this one, especially the Showtime one. So it's not the best version of him. But it is still a decent card. It's just one of these fullback cards where it's very particular. You know, you look at the balance with the attributes. You know, you're okay with the engagement and aggression being 75. You're okay with your fullback having iffy balance. Now, are you okay with the playing style? Because, like I say, a fullback finisher, defensive fullback will just stay in line with his centre backs. He won't push forward too much. Attacking fullback will get up and down the left flank or whatever flank they're on. A fullback finisher is going to go walkabout. He's going to drift inside. He's going to think he's a midfielder. If you like that, great. You want to do your kind of the inverted fullback kind of thing. If you think you're Pep Guardiola, great. It'll be very good if you like using your fullbacks in that way. But if you want your fullback to just be more of an orthodox fullback, that playing style can be a bit of a pain. I'm not a big fan of it myself. So there's a few things about him that you need to keep in mind when you're thinking about whether he's someone you want in your team. But certainly in terms of the attributes, plenty of strengths there. It's a decent version of Théo, even if it's not a brilliant one. Well, maybe for the Italian challenge it's worth picking up. I don't know. You've got options in this pack. It's certainly a decent one. But above all else, he desperately needs a few defensive skills. So if you're going to get this guy, if you're going to use him a lot, put some defensive skills on him. He's certainly got a lot of strengths. But yeah, it's not the best version of Théo. I'm not sure attacking wise is really where we needed a bunch of points to be added. But if he does suit you, this could be a pretty nice version of Théo. It's certainly a decent one, even if it's not an amazing one. And just to finish, a couple of positions we could train him for. Can you make him a sneaky centre-back? I'm not sure he can. Not really. So auto allocation, as you can see, not great defensively. Certainly plenty of qualities, but yeah, the engagement, the aggression, even the awareness attacking are brilliant. So I don't think it's going to be much of a glitch centre-back. Left mid, I don't know if he's going to be good enough going forward. Maybes. I mean, the crossing's not going to be great. Can you make him a left wing or a left wing back or something like that? I don't know. Let's have a look. The attacking wise is good for a winger. That's fine. Decent enough on the ball. We can nudge that dribbling from 86 to 88. We can get his lofted pass to 80. Yeah, maybe. You could use him as a left winger. I personally don't think he's amazing. Does have the good skills to start off with though as a winger. Shooting, passing, crossing. It's an option, I guess, if you want to use him as a left winger or as a left wing back, possibly. But I think for most people, he's going to be a very attacking left back. So yeah, however you use him, it could be a decent one to pick up. It's not the best version of Théo though. I think certainly the playing style, where they put the extra points and stuff, it's going to be very particular. If he works for you, it could be a really nice one to pick up. But for a lot of people, if you do pick him up, yes, he's good, but one or two concerns there, and he does need skills as well. So yeah, not for everyone, but for some people, it could be a decent one to pick up, certainly. So there are all your Tsubasa players. We've covered the ones that have already been released. I think most of us have probably got these free ones that were given to us, but we've got these new ones that have been added as well. And we can choose between the new ones and the old ones to use our selection things on. Like I say, I think that's good news because there are people who may have missed out for whatever reason on the first time around. So it's good that they're giving you that second chance with your selection contracts. It's very subjective in terms of which players you want to pick up. I think Luis Suárez is not a brilliant card. It's mainly a nostalgia one, really. Raphinha, decent version of him. Tomori, pretty good version of him. Good centre back. Fermín, I think, is probably one of the more appealing cards in the pack. Through the middle or on the left hand side, could be a really nice option. Kubo, again, I think he's one of the better ones. I think probably for me, Fermín and Kubo, I would say represent the best value, but it's very subjective. Kubo certainly is one of the better versions of him. I'm a little bit surprised they're giving us a free version of him that's as good as it is, but I do love everyone having a Kubo card, I guess. But it is a very good card. That you've got two solid keepers in Maignan and Neuer, albeit Neuer likes to go walkabout. Keep that in mind, of course. Upamecano, like Tomori, another good centre back there. Not the most balanced in terms of the attributes. You know, the awareness is a lot lower than the other ones, but all things considered, he is a bit of a beast. Very, potentially a very good centre back to have. Théo, if he suits you, could be good. Pulišić, like Raphinha, pace, good on the ball, could be a decent winger to have. And then Kimmich, not the best version of him, but as a defensive mid, certainly he's certainly in isolation. It is a very good card. So you got a lot of options there. It just depends on what versions of these players you've already got, and what position, whether they suit your style of play, your formation, or the rest. I think for most of us with these selection contracts, we'll get a few very decent cards out of this pack. So yeah, it's not a bad selection of freebies that from Konami. And to finish up, there is also the Neymar card they've just given us, so I'm going to do it. Take a quick look at Neymar on eFootball Hub, see how he trains up. So let's just jump back over to eFootball Hub and finish up by looking at Nene. So we have obviously had quite a few versions of Neymar at this point. I've had some free ones, I've had some paid ones, I've had some Player of the Week ones. There was obviously the Santos Neymar from the penalty game. Very different, deep lying forward, young version of him, a lot more pace. On the whole, better, I think, but very different. This is a creative playmaker version, as he normally is these days. When he first went to Saudi, there was a free one in his blue kit, about the same overall rating, but I think this one on the whole is a little bit better than that one, to be honest, looking at the stats. There's also a free Brazil one. There was some kind of Brazilian carnival campaign of some kind with the kind of yellowish background. That free one was pretty similar to this one, very similar, to be honest. There was the free Showtime one when they first started adding Showtime cards to the game. They gave us a Showtime version of Neymar, even though he didn't have any Showtime skills, so it wasn't really a Showtime one, it just had a Showtime background. That was pretty similar to this one overall, but the stats were kind of shuffled around a bit. And then you've had the legend ones, obviously the Santos one, and then you've had the paid ones. I've got one from when I spanned for Danielson about a year or so ago. Obviously the legend versions of Neymar are better than this one, that goes without saying. I've had a few Player of the Weeks that are a bit better as well, so yeah, on the whole, obviously not the best version of Neymar, but as a freebie, it is a decent one. It's a decent version of him. They just kind of put a few levels on him and beefed his speed up, really. They put 4 on his speed. Aside from that, yeah, not a massive boost, but a few extra levels. So it is an improvement on his GP card, and it's nice that they put a few points on his speed, because obviously he's not quite as quick as he was, being in his 30s now. And yeah, looking at him all maximum boost, fully boosted up and trained and everything, not bad. You know, look at him on the ball then, 99, 99, 99, crikey. On a free card, thank you very much. Don't mind if I do, but I think if you look elsewhere, just shy of 80 attacking awareness, only a couple away from 80 for speed. Yeah, I think we're definitely going to kind of balance him out a little bit here. So, I mean, if you take one over from dribbling, you can see there, you've already hit 99 at 11 for ball control and tight possessions. That last one on dribbling is a bit of a waste, really, but let's go all the way down to 4 first off. We'll leave them all over 90 still. What we're going to do, put a few on lower body. 1 dexterity, get him up to 80 attacking awareness. In fact, if you go 1 more on dexterity, see his acceleration is 86. 1 more will get us 2 extra there, so go to 88 acceleration. 8 points left. Depends where you want to play him. If you're going to play him through the middle, you could do that. Yeah. Through the middle. Has he got through passing? No. So he's got skills and skills and skills and skills and skills and long range curler. Okay, long range curler is good, but if you gave him 1 touch pass and through passing, trading him similar to this, I think as an SS or an attacking midfielder, that could be very nice. He's going to be fantastic on the ball. He's going to be very nice passing. He can get his low pass up to 90 there. Not the quickest, obviously, but we've got his acceleration up to 88. Balance to 93 is great. Stamina sucks. You might want to put a counter target on him, otherwise you're going to sub him off by probably about the hour mark or something. Attacking awareness is decent. Yeah, as a playmaker, kind of number 10 through the middle, could be very decent. Coming off the left flank, we'd need a bit more speed, I think. Can we get that lower body up? Maybe up to about the 12 mark. Passing, not so important if he's out wide. DDS up to 10 on lower body. You can actually take a bunch off shooting. In fact, can we get his lower body up to 88? Yeah, let's nick 1 off dribbling. We need 4 points from somewhere. Let's just nick him off passing. If he's playing out wide, it's not so important. Yeah. So you could make this a decent left wing, actually. Left wing version of Neymar. So yeah, he's not got electric pace, but 88 for speed and acceleration. Got the kicking power at 88 as well. Decent kicking power. Balance at 93. Still very nice on the ball, over 90 on all the on the ball attributes. Still got good attacking awareness. Passing is not as good, but if he's a wide man now, it's not so important because it's more about cutting inside off that left flank and hitting those long range curlers. Finishing at 80, curl 89, kicking power 88. Yeah, as a left wing version of Neymar, could be decent. As I say, whatever position you play him in, however you train him, it's not going to be as good as the kind of the paid versions, and I think most people would probably prefer the Santos Neymar in most ways, but as a free version of Neymar, I think this is a fairly tidy card. It's a decent one. Other positions, obviously you're not going to play him as a centre mid. That would be insane. Right wing, I don't know why Reynolds would want the right wing. I mean, you could, I guess. My version, I've actually used him as a wide right forward in co-op a bit, just putting crosses in because he's not bad at crossing, actually. But yeah, he's not a right winger, let's be honest. Centre forward, though. Do you want your Neymar to be a centre forward? He has played centre forward at times. Let's just see. Can you make... Oh, let's just go to water allocation, actually. What does the game tell us, or what does the eFootball Hub tell us? Yeah, don't know. I mean, they've still got loads of points on dribbling. Can you make him half decent as a centre forward? Not really. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think he's best as an SS, isn't he? A kind of number 10 or wide left. So, yeah. Whether you train him like I did, I think you can make him a pretty effective left wing, or as a number 10 and getting a low pass up to 90. I would give him those passing skills, though. Or he's go auto allocation and just have him insanely good on the ball. Whichever way you do it, it's a decent version of Neymar. Obviously, the paid versions that we've had of him are better. A bunch of the other ones are better, but as a free version of Neymar, I think it's pretty good. And I think you can make him pretty nice through the centre or wide left. So, yeah, it's a decent freebie from Konami, that. So, there's all your Tsubasa cards. Hopefully you found this useful. It's helped you to decide who to use your selection contract token thingy bobs on. I think there's 1 or 2 decent ones in there. Like I said, I think that Kubo that was already released is, if you've not already got it, I think that's well worth picking out. I think that this Fermín card's a pretty decent one as well. But I think there's a bunch of decent cards in there to choose from. I think most people are going to find at least 1 or 2 cards that are well worth picking up. So for freebies, I think these are decent. It's a nice enough campaign, this from Konami, so fair play. So yeah, cheers for watching. Hopefully you found this useful. Next video, I'm not sure when that'll be. I do still need to review the new penalty game players. There's that Vitor Bayer and Conte, so I will do that at some point when I find the time. And yeah, whether it's for a live stream or for that video, for whichever next video it will be, hopefully I'll be seeing you soon. Remember to jump in the Discord. Take care of yourselves, have a lovely weekend, and I will see you soon.